Cabaret Mechanical Theatre started out as a very small and tiny craft shop in Cornwall, in Falmouth, and it was started by my mum in 1979, and it was called Cabaret because my mum enjoyed the film with Liza Minnelli, and it was just selling very small craft items, not automata, but knitted jumpers, ceramics, paintings, all sorts of different things that were made by local artists. It wasn't until 2 years later, when she moved up the road and opened more of an exhibition, that it became known as Cabaret Mechanical Theatre. A couple of years of being there in Falmouth, it was very, very popular. We moved to London in 1984.
I think there's something quite magic, isn't there, about being able to make something move and turn, and sort of seeing the simple mechanisms that are in place to get some quite complex results. I suppose everything works from just basically cogs.
There's 8 different mechanisms that we cover: cams, cranks, levers, pulleys, drives, ratchets, and then we related each one of those to specific pieces of automata that are in the exhibitions. That exhibition is much more focused on looking at the piece, then looking at the actual pulley and seeing how that works, and then we might take the pulley, turn it round, see what effect that has. We had it in Covent Garden. It was in a very dark but underground venue on the lower ground, and she always wanted it to be dark, black walls and mechanical music. So we had a Nickelodeon in there, and everything was jam-packed in very tightly, and a lot of people, I mean thousands, tens of thousands of people visited in those 16 years. We had a visit from some Japanese, they were actually in the advertising industry, but they fell in love with the automata that they saw in Covent Garden, and they went back and sent us some very funny facts about how they put all their money into the coin operating machines and one thing and another, and they'd won some money at a casino, and they bought some of the smaller pieces themselves, and they went back home, and they actually ended up keeping that collection, which is still in Japan.
Cabaret Mechanical Theatre. After 15 years in Covent Garden, high running costs meant it closed its doors there for the final time today. It's moving to a new home in Southend.
Unfortunately, in 2000, the rent and rates in Covent Garden just became too much for us to support by just having a permanent exhibition. So at that point we decided to go into, well, we briefly went to Southend, which didn't work out, but soon after that we just decided to focus on touring exhibitions.
It's really caught everybody's imagination, I think. So we already had the large Keith Newstead Flying Reaver installed, and that's always been a bit of a family favourite in the museum, coin-operated automata.
I wasn't really aware of the breadth of the artwork and the sort of the history and tradition that's behind it, and I really like the humour that goes with it as well. So the sort of, yeah, the funny things, the ironic things that some of the automata pieces do.
I mean, there's the peacock, which is just, you know, a stunning piece in itself. You know, it takes a little bit of time to get moving. But I think that's definitely a standout piece because it's quite different from all of the other pieces of automata.
Quite a favourite of mine is it's not that recent, it's 7 or 8 years old, but it's called Grooving at the Upholsterers, and it's by Lucy Casson. The figurative pieces are the ones that I prefer, as a more human. But you know, there's some funny ones. There's good funny stories like the Anubis jackhammer, which make the pieces appealing. So yeah. So my favourites can change on a show by show basis, but yeah, those are a few highlights.